Hey guys, and welcome to Trifecta Wrestling Power Ranking. I am Meanjimmygamer, and I'm going to be your host for this video here today. And I'm going to count down the 10 most powerful wrestlers in our Trifecta universe. That includes PWF and Young Life Pro Wrestling, but that does not include Joseph's universe, because Joseph has not started yet. But that's a conversation for a completely different time. We're going to go ahead and start off with number 10. Number 10 being The Bar, a tag team very close to my heart because they are my first inaugural World Tag Team Champions of PWF. They have had tons of wars, like with the Dudleys, where they defended their tag team titles at pre-ECW One Night Stand pre-show. And then they had a steel cage fight with the New Day and a couple of awesome matches with the New Day besides that, where they defended the title. The only reason that the Bar, who is still the title holders, has held it the longest in our universe altogether of me and Bundy's, is because he hasn't fought. The Bar hasn't fought everybody on my roster. They only fought some of the most notable tag teams, and they also haven't been on many pay-per-views. So the Bar, even though they have earned themselves a number 10 spot, they are not number 1, even though they are undefeated when it comes to the tag team division of PWF. They have proved surely to the people they have fought, though, that they don't only set the bar, but they are the bar. Next, we're going to go ahead and stop over to our number 9, which is Seth frickin' Rollins. Now, Seth frickin' Rollins is not not very high, because the fact that he may have been our first world champion at PWF Pro Wrestling Fallout, but he was not a very good one. He was only a champion who appeared when he needed to be, and he was not a champion that was always there fighting. Seth Rollins may have been undefeated besides when he lost the belt eventually to Jeff Hardy. He was only undefeated because he set himself to be that way. He needed to show up for matches. He needed to have matches, but he didn't have them all the time because Seth Rollins just, quite frankly, was a champion. He felt like he had his own privilege to not be there. Seth Rollins may be right now part of the world title picture still. Right now he's going to be in a Triple Threat TLC come Destination X, but other than that, he's not higher because there's other people who have proven that they are great champions, great wrestlers independently. Even though Seth Rollins is our first World Heavyweight Champion, it does not give him any privilege at all above anybody else. Next in this list, we have the first members of TVG Bundy's Young Life Pro Wrestling, who is in Motor City Machine Guns. They are number 8 on this power ranking. The only reason they are higher than Seth Rollins in the Bar is because they are champions who have fought on, it seems like, every single night for titles. By the time I'm recording this, I believe they are a 2-time champion, and they have been fighting hard. They are the current champions right now. I can guarantee you every single time you're going to see the Motor City Machine Guns at Young Life Pro Wrestling, you're going to see one hell of a match, and you're going to see one hell of a Thunder Express to end it, because that's the way they like to end their matches. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way for them, but that's the usual method that the Motor City Machine Guns end up ending their fights. Make sure and check them out on Young Life, and next we're going to go on to our number 7 spot, who is a phenomenal one himself, AJ Styles, another member of Young Life Pro Wrestling. AJ Styles started out pretty cold on Young Life. He wasn't in the main event scene, as you can say, but it wasn't until it kicked off until, I want to say, a little pay-per-view called Bash at the Beach. AJ Styles jumped in and became the world champion. Of course, before that, though, he was fighting Abyss, and not only did he have a couple of awesome matches with Abyss that I would say were borderline 5-star matches, which included brawls and traditional matches, and retired Abyss. But AJ Styles was the man who beat Alberto Del Rio at Bash at the Beach. Alberto Del Rio, the same guy that's undefeated. And he's still the current world champion until right now, where it's a week before Destination X. AJ Styles is still the current world champion. He's showing that he deserves it. Being pushed by TVG Bundy, being adored by the fans for defeating the unnerfable man known as Alberto Del Rio. AJ Styles firmly takes the number 7 spot. Hopefully by the next time we do a video like this, he will be a lot more higher, though, because AJ Styles is one hell of a performer. Speaking about another man that started out being the inaugural champ at week 1, we have Austin Aries at number 6. The greatest man to ever live takes the number 6 spot, being the first X-Division champion of PWF, winning in a ladder match and then taking on all comers plus some for the X-Division title. Austin Aries had a match against Keith Lee and RVD at Payback. At the same time, he beat both of them. RVD And Keith Lee didn't see it coming, but the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries, was cocky the whole time, as he always is. Austin Aries is a cool cucumber, and except when it comes down to when he actually got injured fighting Kazuchika Okada. Austin Aries ended up getting seriously hurt to where now he's currently back, but he was out for almost seemed like a whole month. He missed Bash at the Beach. We actually had to recrown his title, but now that he's back, he's looking hotter than ever. Take a number 6 spot. Hopefully come next month, Austin Aries will be a lot higher. The only reason he is not is because he unfortunately could not take the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Number 6, we have the man that you guys, the fans of PWF, of Trifecta of Wrestling, of Young Life Pro Wrestling, crave the push. So we have Amazing Red, who did get pushed. Look where he's at, number 5, because you guys love him. He's made it so far. He's been the X Division champion. He's been fighting AJ Styles. Heck, he most recently had a match that was close to a 5-star against Mr. Leo Rush at Week 5, Fan Week, which I might mention, Fan Week. All the fans' greatest matches, and one of them was Mr. Amazing Red versus Leo Rush, because you guys said it. We heard you guys. Me and TVG heard you. Push Amazing Red. He's been pushed, and he's been having some great matches since then. So I thank you guys for showing us the kind of talent that Amazing Red is. And hopefully come next month, Amazing Red will hold this spot or even be a little higher, depending on what happens between now and then. If he keeps having matches the way he is right now, he probably will be higher. Number 4 being Suicide, who came alive and brought pain to Young Life Pro Wrestling, starting off a heated rivalry against Mr. Trevor Lee and someone else who slips my mind right now. I can't remember. You guys are going to hate me for this, but yeah, Suicide, it was Neville, Trevor Lee and Neville, who eventually he lost the title to. I believe it was Neville. Anyway, besides that, Suicide is pretty high right now because he was an undefeated champion, an undefeated hardcore champion, come to last. And not only did he do that, but also he's a fan favorite. Everybody loves Suicide, it seems like. He almost beat Alberto Del Rio, pretty close to beating him. When he was the hardcore champion, Alberto was the world heavyweight champion. Unfortunately, he did not quite make it to much higher than this, because of the fact that Suicide was eventually defeated, lost his title, and then his most current thing that he's done notable was he lost to Kurt Hawkins, which Suicide, as far as I know, never really got his true redemption to it. Coming fast at you guys, we got number 3, which is Kazuchika Okada, who is so high because he's done so many notable things. He seemed like he beat Batista every single night at the beginning of PWF, all the way up until Pay-Per-View 2, Payback, where he bloodied Batista up, and that ruined their feud. Ended their feud. Kazuchika Okada since then has been making a warpath, it seems like, going after world champion Jeff Hardy, winning the world title after Bash at the Beach. In between that, he also injured the X Division champion Austin Aries. Okada, the Rainmaker, also has had a couple of notable matches, one being against Rey Mysterio, and then another one being against Seth Rollins himself. Okada's been having a great time being the champion at PWF, being a very proud champion, a very cocky champion. And hopefully come Destination X, he'll hold that title, and come next time we do this video, hold the number 3 or may even be higher, depending on what happens. Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, is number 3. I would say right now, seeing the way the land is set up, Kazuchika Okada is set to be number 3 for a while, if not higher. Time has come for number 2, who is going to be PWF's own Jeff Hardy, who has been on PWF since week 1, almost winning the world championship against Seth Rollins at ECW One Night Stand. Heck, he was squashed a couple of times by Seth Rollins, but then eventually, after him going on a month of an undefeated streak against all kinds of different competitors, one being low-key, another one being Diamond Dallas Page, Seth Rollins eventually met his match after Jeff Hardy toned his skill and focused, and he defeated the cocky champion of Seth Rollins and became the champion himself for a while, able to hold it until Kazuchika Okada won it. But since then, Jeff Hardy is currently in the world title picture again, looking for his rematch come Destination X. He is going to be in a triple threat match for the world title in a TLC. Hopefully that comes back and he's world champion again, but we don't know. Let's see what happens come then. Next up, we have our final pick, who is the number 1 pick. That is Alberto Del Rio, the Mexican aristocrat. You guys should have seen this coming. He is obviously going to be number 1 because he has his own hashtag. nerf Del Rio, in case you guys haven't heard, because Del Rio is just making a warpath on Young Life Pro Wrestling, stopping the likes of... He's been fighting the likes since he started. Roman Reigns, Edge, heck, in my universe match, he beat Roman Reigns and Edge in the same match, tapping them both out. And TVG Bundy's, he's been over there rocking it, defeating Drew McIntyre, who was a prominent guy to actually win the title. Did not win the title, sadly. He eventually did lose the title to AJ Styles after getting out-wrestled by him. AJ, being a tactical, quick fighter, knew what was going to happen against Del Rio, and he stopped it from all costs from happening. Stopping that armbar. Alberto Del Rio has just been stealing arms since he got to Young Life Pro Wrestling, and since then, he's just been a warpath all the way. It seems like TVG Bundy has a match of the week now with Del Rio, with him just breaking people's arms, including one being the prominent star, Matt DeMorris, who had a 5-star match with AJ Styles. Alberto just went in there and broke his arm and left. Tons of stars have fallen to Alberto Del Rio, and that's the reason why he is #1. And heck, he might even be world champion again by the time Destination X rolls around. Thank you guys for joining us for this Power Rankings video. I am Meanjimmygamer, and I showed you who was what and what is who. Comment down below what your rankings would have been. Comment if I was wrong. If I have some things wrong, make sure and let me know. I might not have all my facts right. I just know I skimmed through. And anyway, just leave a like down below, comment down below, subscribe to Trifecta Wrestling, and check out our weekly shows of Young Life Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Fallout. I'm Meanjimmygamer signing out. Peace out and have a good night, guys.